All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Brad here from Falcon Express Transportation in Beltsville, Maryland. And we have got a new opportunity on the horizon for our company and for you. If you are a full size cargo van owner operator or a master contractor, meaning you own multiple vans and you run your own drivers, this opportunity may be for you. I repeat, only full size cargo vans, no minivans, no cars, no pickup trucks, only full size cargo vans. All right, let's dive into the information here that I have so far on these routes, okay? So let's go ahead and look at this opportunity and let me explain what is going on here. So in Maryland, these are the locations: Nottingham, Ellicott City, Sykesville. These locations are where the packages originate from. And each of these locations, the driver will pick up and deliver in the same area. So, in other words, you're going to pick up in Nottingham, Maryland, and deliver in Nottingham, Maryland. Same thing for Ellicott City and all these other cities: Frederick, Hampstead, Arbutus. So, for example, if you live in or near any of these areas, this is going to give you an advantage. Of course, I'm looking for guys that have final mile experience. So, if you've been working for Amazon or FedEx or UPS and you have the kind of experience where you're delivering 80, 90, 100, 150, 200 packages in a day, this type of delivery job may be for you. You must own your own full-size cargo vans. That is non-negotiable. No rentals. We only work with owner operators. Now, you can see in Virginia, we also have 5 locations, starting with Leesburg, Haymarket, Alexandria, Fairfax, and Vienna. And then one opportunity in DC. Now, you'll notice in the second column, route count. This is the number of routes that we anticipate we will be running out of these locations. So the way to think of this is these are going to be the number of drivers, the number of vans that I'm going to need at each one of these locations. Now, if you're an individual owner operator with a full-size cargo van with final mile experience, you've got massive opportunities here. So the key is, do you live in or near any of these areas in Maryland? Maybe you're a Virginia guy. Do you live in or near any of these areas? Because what I am looking to do here is I do not want to bring on a guy who's driving 40 miles to start the day every day just to get to the city where you're picking up the packages. And then you're delivering all day. It could be 8, it could be 9, 10. If it's super busy, 11 hours, not unusual. I don't want a guy who's got a 40-mile commute home after driving for 10 hours. That isn't economic for you. I know you're going to want to do that anyway. You're going to try to convince me because I've been doing this long enough. You're going to say, no, I know I live in Frederick, but I want that Germantown route, or the reverse. I live in Clarksburg, Maryland, but I know I can do the Frederick route because it's only 45 minutes from my house. I want guys that live 20 minutes from the route, 15 minutes, or even less. I'm just doing this now. I'm going through it with some of the existing routes that we have, and it works beautifully if you live in and near the area that we're servicing. Okay, now most guys have to drive all the way to Beltsville to our warehouse to pick up our freight in our core business, but this new opportunity is a little bit better for drivers, but only if you live in one of these service areas. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the pay, what it looks like. So for a full-size cargo van like a Ford Transit, a Chevy Express, or Ram ProMaster, these are the type of vehicles I'm looking for, full-size cargo. The minimum guarantee is $220. You will never make less than $220 in a day. The minimum package count for this is 50. Now, between me and you, if it is ever under 50, we are going to guarantee your minimum pay at $220 per day, period. End of story. As you go up in the package count, you're going to end up earning $270. Most of these locations are going to the maximum. Now, you have to bear in mind these are new locations that they're rolling out. So over time, we are going to learn together what is the package count like. Our expectation is that they want to give us the maximum amount of packages, but if they don't, your minimum guarantee is $220 per day. Okay, so if they give you 50 pieces, it's going to be $220. If they give you 30 pieces, it's going to be $220. And then there's a sliding scale. Once you get over 50, 60, it's going to go up between $220 and $270. Once you get to 90 pieces, it's going to be $270. So you want to be operating at the top end of this piece count. Of course, that's not up to you or me. It's up to the location, depending on how many orders they have. Okay, it's not up to us how many pieces we're giving you. What we are doing is guaranteeing you at $220 a day, so you are protected. So you know if you're getting up, fueling up your van, and showing up, you're getting $220 at least, minimum. But what you want to do is see that they are busy and that they're giving you more like 90 to 100 pieces, and you're getting the full $270. They will not give you more than 100 pieces. Okay? So that's the deal. These routes are running 7 days a week. Now, you don't have to run it 7 days a week, but I want to hear from you about what you're available for, because some guys call me and they say, I'm looking for weekend work. Other guys are like, I want to work 7 days a week. Some guys, especially the ones with kids and a family, maybe they go to church on Sunday, they only want to work Monday through Friday. That's fine. You're going to be able to let me know that. By the way, this is a good place in the video to let you know in the description of this video is a contact link. You simply fill that out, and I will get back to you with a little more information. Okay, so the first step is click the link. Now, let's talk a little bit about a few other things like qualifications, okay? So the deal is, this is not expediting, this is not moving freight, this is not OTR. I get a lot of guys calling me, they got a full-size cargo van with a high roof because they've been doing expediting. This is not that. This is like you're doing final mile deliveries. So it's very much in line with what guys at Amazon do. Like if you've ever done Amazon Flex, this is like that. If you've ever done FedEx or UPS, or you've been an employee driver for any of those big companies, and you know what it's like to do 160 pieces, 200 pieces. Well, these routes are more similar to that style of work. It generally does not work well when I bring in a guy who's been doing expediting or OTR or driving for the post office, delivering in a box truck, or any kind of box truck work you may have been doing does not translate to this style of work. This is Amazon style of work, final mile, which means you're delivering individual packages to homes mostly and some businesses, but it's mostly residential. That means you have to deal with apartment buildings. Guys that are doing OTR and guys that have done expediting, they've never delivered to residences and apartment buildings, and they freak out and they don't understand that, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge to deliver to apartment buildings, but we have a protocol for that. We have a number you call if you can't get into a building. Yes, it takes a little more time to deal with that, but if you're a final mile delivery guy and you've ever worked at Amazon, you already know this stuff and you're going to be able to overcome it. And hey, to make $270 a day and stay at home and not be over the road, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I'm a former driver myself, and I wish I had these kind of opportunities when I was driving. Of course, I've moved on now. I'm in the office. But as a driver, these are fantastic routes, especially for the guys that are young and want to grind, because you can do this 7 days a week. You do the math. Look, if you're doing this kind of route 7 days a week, like a couple of guys that I already have right now that are making $270 7 days a week after week after week. I have one guy in Virginia. He's a rock star. He's never missing, and his checks are, it's ridiculous how much money he's making. Okay, the call time, by the way, to show up at every one of these routes is 7:50 a.m. That is non-negotiable. That is not variable. That doesn't mean I'm looking for guys that are like, yeah, he said 7:50 a.m., but I know it doesn't matter if I get there at 8:30. No, it does matter. Yes, you are a contractor, but the contract has parameters, and one of the parameters is you are in position in your full-size cargo van every morning at 7:50 a.m., ready to go. You're going to be using an app that we're going to hook you up with, and you follow the optimization on the app. The packages must be delivered in the order that the app is presenting it. If you're a final mile guy, you already know what I'm talking about. The reason for that is certain customers have selected certain times they want to receive the package, so we must do the packages in order. You might think, but that's crazy. I could do it better if I do it myself. Doesn't matter. We are serving the customer. Doesn't matter what you think. It matters what the app is saying because the customer has expectations, and we've accounted for this in the payment. So days that you're out there longer, we've already baked all this into our pricing. You're going to get $270. So if it took you 10 hours, you're making $27 an hour. There's a lot of days that aren't taking 10 hours. It could be 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. It depends. The reason I don't want OTR guys and expediter guys is they're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Final mile guys get it if you have final mile experience. Okay, let's talk about vehicle type. This is non-negotiable. Full-size cargo van. I'm talking about the Ford E-Series, the Ford Transit, not the Ford Transit Connect. I'm talking about Chevy Express, Mercedes Sprinters, Dodge Ram ProMasters. This job is for full-size cargo vans. We have another business. Sometimes I use a minivan or some other kind of vehicle. But in these contracts, it is 100% cargo van, full size. Please do not contact me and tell me about your minivan. Thank you. Qualifying documents. Everybody who's been in the final mile game already knows about documentation. I am reminding you of this because if you don't have a Social Security card in your possession or an ITIN letter in your possession, don't apply because I cannot hire you unless you have the card or a picture of the card or a picture of the letter, the ITIN letter. Regarding your insurance documents, I must have the declaration page. So we're going to get into this later, but the reason I'm bringing it up now is if you're not the kind of guy that's organized and you don't even know where your registration card is for your vehicle, if you do not know where your Social Security card is, do not apply because you're not going to make it through my process. I like to get guys that are organized, that already have all these documents because they're already a professional driver. They already have these things probably on their phone or at least in a folder on their hard drive as a bunch of PDFs. You're going to have a very easy time working with me. Organized guys that are professional love working with me. Why? Because I'm organized and professional. Guys that are not organized don't like me because they think I'm demanding or I'm being too picky. But no, I'm just being a professional. If you're a pro, you got to have all these documents together and they need to be in a PDF and you need to be able to get them to me when I ask for them. And what I hate is when guys give me a third of the documents or only half of the documents. These jobs are going to go to the people that are organized and ready to go because we're going to be ready to go. We're not screwing around here looking for people that are serious. All right, your home location. Please do not try to convince me that because you live in Hanover, Pennsylvania, that you can do a Baltimore route. I don't want to hear that. If you live in Richmond, Virginia, you're not going to get any of my Virginia routes. Sorry. So I do not like drivers that live too far away from the delivery service area for obvious reasons. No matter how much I say this, I still get guys trying to convince me otherwise. So that's why I'm making this video and that's why I'm talking like this. I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. Okay? So the first step right now is if this is you, or even better yet, maybe you are a master contractor, meaning you have a transportation business. Maybe you have 3 cargo vans with drivers already doing things, or maybe you're a owner operator who is tired of chasing work all the time. Maybe you're using all the different apps that are out there now, including Amazon Flex. Or maybe you have an auto parts contract that you're just not thrilled with because it's not as economic as you would like it to be. But maybe you've got drivers under you running your vans and the margins are just too thin. Well, this kind of opportunity is great for the right contractor because I didn't mention this until now, but you see this number here, right? These are the number of potential routes originating in these locations. So for example, if you were a guy that lived in Frederick and you had your van and you're a driver and then maybe you own a second van and you have somebody working for you in a van, that makes you a master contractor. Maybe you can get 2 of these routes, right? So you're running one, your company's making $270 a day, and then you've negotiated to pay your driver whatever by the piece or maybe by the hour or maybe a flat rate, whatever. We don't get involved in that. That's between you and your driver. But if you're paying him something to keep him working, well, now you're making a little money as a master contractor because you got 2 routes running. You know, if you're really good and proven, maybe you come down here in Pasadena or Arbutus where I'm going to need 5 drivers at each of these locations. Or look at this, Fairfax, 7 drivers coming from the same location. And then DC is off the chain. Look at this, 12 potential routes originating in one location in upper northwest Washington. Actually, I think it might be northeast. It depends on which side of North Capitol Street it's on. But the point is, for the right guys, this is a whole lot of opportunity. So if you have final mile delivery experience, meaning packages, individual packages, I'm not talking about guys that have done auto part routes and you only had 15 stops in a day. I'm not talking about a guy that ran a box truck where he delivered pallets to something. I'm not talking about expediters who use load boards to get their work. I'm not talking about OTR guys who were pulling a trailer. That's not who I'm looking for. I'm looking for full-size cargo vans that know how to do final mile delivery, that already have experience doing that, and that have all their documentation together, your registration, your insurance document. We do have minimum levels for our insurance. It's not crazy. We're going to get into all that. The point is, if you're organized, professional, and ready to go, I want to talk to you. Okay, we're going to communicate a little bit digitally at first because I don't have time to talk to everybody at first. I'm going to screen out the guys that did not listen to what I'm saying in this video, and I'm going to focus on the guys that are hitting all the boxes, that are hitting all the things that I'm talking about in this video. If that's you, we're going to get along great, and we're both about to make some money. So click the link in the description if that's you. All we're doing, this is like a handshake. You just click the link, fill out some information. I get to look at you. And then if I decide I want to go further with you, you will hear from me. You do not need to keep bugging me if you submitted something you didn't hear from me in 2 days. You start blowing me up. You don't need to do that. You don't need to fill out the form more than once. I don't miss a single thing. I respond to 100% of everybody that replies to me. So be patient with my process. All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see where we end up. All right, take good care now. Oh, by the way, last thing, to try to give you some value for watching the video, also in the description of this video, I've got an app called Upside. You get amazing rebates on your fuel purchases. So if you're out there driving around and filling up your tank twice a week, 3 times a week, you got to click my link. If you don't have Upside yet, click the link in the description of this video. Get Upside. Start getting rebates on your gas purchases. It is real, it works, and if you use my referral link, you're going to get a bonus, and you're going to see dollars coming back into your account after you buy gas, and this just goes on forever. So click the link, save money on your fuel. All right, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.